Hello and welcome to Triathlonology, a triathlon podcast by Animis Racing Team. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Jackie. We are a mum and son coaching team who have changed our lives through the sport of triathlon.
Our podcast aims to break down the mysteries of triathlon training and show you, the listener, how simple and flexible it can be so that it really does become part of your lifestyle and not just a hobby.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Triathlonology, a podcast by Animis Racing Team.
I'm Coach Jackie.
And I'm Coach Oliver, and together we're a mum and son coaching team based in North Lincolnshire and South Yorkshire, and in this podcast we dispense our advice in our indomitable, normal Yorkshire style. Today's podcast is going to be about trends in triathlon in
25, Oliver.
2025, and are they worth your time?
Yeah, because there's lots and lots of noise out there, lots of new tech, fancy data, shiny training apps, but which of them actually works for you? Which was going to help you and which is going to work?
Some of them are just complete marketing fluff and nonsense, and you know, if they make people feel better about lives, great, but we don't really necessarily prescribe to a lot of tech. It's not our thing as such. It's easy to get swept up in all the apps and jargon and the gadgets, and that all these things will make it revolutionary for your way to train. I remember when we first started running and we had Serena Williams and Jessica Ennis to some music on an Adidas app telling us whether to run faster or run slower based on a pace on our shoe.
We did. We had to have a little thing on a shoe, didn't we? Like a little, I'm trying to think, just like a little
pedometer or something like that.
Yeah, because Elena, we used to run with, said she weren't having no young slip of a girl.
Yeah.
She meant Jessica Ennis.
Or Serena Williams, both of them were a lot younger then.
Yeah, to telling her what to do.
Yeah. But that was revolutionary then, and it's not quite as revolutionary now, but the technology just moved on. And the truth is, most people don't need more confusion, they just need clarity.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is try and just give you our honest opinion on what we think is worth it and what's best ignored. Yeah.
Because not everything is worth investing in. And
no.
Like that, I would say though, going back to that Adidas run shoe thing, or was it Nike? It might have been Nike. Would have been Nike.
It would have been Nike because Jessica Ennis is Adidas.
But Serena Williams wasn't.
Well, I can't remember what it were then, but it were definitely Jessica Ennis.
No, one that had Serena. There might have been an Adidas one as well as a Serena Williams one.
I think Serena Williams ones were a different one that we had.
But they were good. They helped you get a pace when you weren't used to running one, particularly when we were beginners.
Yeah.
But you sort of work that out yourself as you're going along. So, what are the trends that have been doing the rounds this year in triathlon? And number one trend, as always, it's not really a trend, it's always there, are smartwatches, tech and data, power pedals, AI coaching. Somebody's flogging you something somewhere that involves tech at a level.
But half the time, it's just more screens to stare at instead of actually feeling what's happening. I know Oliver and I talk about this a lot. It's about how you feel in the moment when you're doing your training, not what your watch is saying or your phone's saying or some other item that you've got is telling you what to do.
Heart rate monitor saying, and Swift is saying, it's really about focusing on you and what you want to, how you feel on the day. And our big thing is that training by feel, and is probably the best way of going about it.
One of the other things is trends is that there's a lot of focus on mental fitness, which I think I actually quite agree with, because it's about learning to manage your head when your life's messy, and we all need that.
Yeah, it's not necessarily about being tough anymore. It's about learning to just manage and adapt and overcome by asking for help and taking the help there.
Another thing that's cropped up is sustainability. Now, I'm big on this in my business, but in sport, I don't know whether it's a thing. Whatever, you've got to say, what's your carbon footprint when you're putting a race on, or brands selling recycled kit. I don't know about that. What do you think, Oliver?
I think it's probably reasonable in principle, but also like nothing's ever truly sustainable, is it? Because
No.
that's the big thing that people say about electric cars. Like it's you're meant to be sustainable, but really they're mining a load of lithium and producing cars in a factory that also emits emissions. So
Yeah.
nothing is ever a zero-sum game, which is pretty much like that for life and triathlon. There's always a balance to be struck somewhere. Like what's good isn't necessarily wholly good, and what's bad isn't necessarily wholly bad. Usually the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But recycling kit and making, I get from a fabric and a manufacturer point of view, if you can recycle some of your old kit and use that, well, why not? That makes sense.
I'm running stuff t-shirts that I got in 2012.
Oh yeah, I still running all my running shirts that I've ever been given a race. I ain't thrown them away.
I hadn't thrown mine away.
In fact, I packed some away because I was going to make them into
a
blanket, but then that turned out to be a fortune. So what point?
So just use what you've got. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, you don't need more. Right? A lot of people have got plenty of stuff to be going on with. There's also a trend that people are training less, which is maybe we're actually at the forefront of this trend, because that's what
a trend.
We've been saying that a lot. So the average age grouper is probably now somewhere in the region to 8 to 12 hours, outside of Ironman, that they're putting in.
And that makes total sense, because 20 plus hours, so you just can't sustain it, not with a family and all your life stuff. It's much better to train consistently for 18 hours than burn out doing 18, and we've been banging on about that for years.
Yeah, it's about, again, like we said about everything else, it's about getting that balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
About what's good and what's bad and what's not. And we're also seeing, and again, we're trendsetters here. New race formats popping up. So the WTS mixed race relays have definitely become a thing, and they were at the Olympics in 2024 as well.
Yeah.
Our swim, bike, run events, mini duathlons. They're going ahead. Super sprints. Super sprints are back.
Yeah.
We've even seen
super sprints.
We've even seen the Johnny Brownlee doing the super sprint in Chicago the other week.
Yeah.
So the good thing about these is that because they are shorter, they get more people involved and they're more fun. And it's a bit like T20 cricket. Most people can't play 50 overs of cricket an innings on a weekend anymore, but actually you could probably fit 20 in each. And this allows you to put things in. So which ones actually matter in our opinion?
Yeah, for real people, not full-time pros.
No. So let's filter this through our training philosophy and what we believe in, and which actually adds value to people. So tech and data. Use it selectively is what we would say.
Yeah.
So power meters, heart rate monitors are all right in small doses, but they're only relevant to how you feel that day. They're not going to set you a huge trend.
No.
They're only ever going to show you what is on that day, and they're not going to be
snapshot.
They're not going to be particularly predictive, because it doesn't take into account everything that's gone on in your life that day.
Yeah. So our coaching philosophy has always been this: is that the best tools are the simple ones, the ones that make you better, but without distracting you. So your biggest computer that you'll ever have is in your brain.
Yeah. And if you stop listening to that, then you're just going to reach a problem somewhere in the line, either personal life or physical life or health, stress. Because that is always telling you what to do. It's like a hive for your central heating in your house. That's the controlling thing. And if that goes out haywire, well, you're a bit knacked. Mental fitness. I'm a bit less woo-woo than you on this.
Yeah, because I am a bit more woo-woo than you, but I would be. But I do think sometimes if you just sit still for 10 minutes or so, then it's going to do you a world of good.
And we've both got the Iron Mind thing that we keep saying we're going to go and do.
Yeah.
We just haven't got around to doing yet, but we probably ought to spend some time doing that this winter.
We did, yeah.
But we have had athletes who've gone from panicking in open water swims, and you.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you how I cope with. I really panicked in open water. So this summer I decided I was not gonna happen again. So I just used to rock up to the open water, no pressure whatsoever. I used to get in, and I just used to do what I wanted. I didn't have any fancy watches. I just used to control my breathing. And in fact, I remember one of the things I'd watched couple of nights before, because I'm a big fan of Grey's Anatomy, where Amelia Shepherd, before she was doing this big brain surgery, she did Superwoman position. And it really worked. So I did that before I started. And you know what? It worked fantastic.
It did. It really changed your mind with that. And so moving on to sustainability, I mean, it's not really about, I don't think virtue signalling is a real thing. But if you can make things more sustainable, then usually that makes it cheaper for you as an individual. So I would think of sustainability as cost saving for somebody somewhere along the line. So if you are buying recycled kit, then that shouldn't be as expensive as buying new kit because it's been had to reproduce that material. If you are traveling to a race with somebody else, then that's also being sustainable because you're reducing your carbon footprint like that. The same with food. If you could keep your food miles down, also helpful. But you don't need to live like a monk to be able to race well. Busiest athletes are often the best athletes because they end up planning planning around their lives and not making their life more difficult because they are really busy. And it's particularly business people use this as a real mental clarity and being the best person they can be at business by being fit.
And we love the short form triathlons, the real speedy ones like the sprints, the super sprints, the duathlons that we run, because they're fun and inclusive. And it really, I've got a real thing about people think you've got to be an Ironman to be a triathlete. No, and I can tell you it's much harder to do a full-on sprint than an Ironman, because you are going out there at 100%. You can't do that in an Ironman.
Yeah, and somebody who's 10, who's doing the swim, bike, run event that we do at the cycle track is as much of a triathlete as someone who's racing at Kona. In fact, one of our coaches' wives, who one morning does a swim, next day does a bike, next day does a run, she's a triathlete. She doesn't accept that she is. Yeah. But she is, because she's doing all of the sports back to back.
So let's do some real world examples. Say you're training for your first 70.3. You've seen all those trends online and you're thinking, what shall I do? What bit's going to be relevant to me? How can I make this work? Well, what do you think, Olive? What's the first thing you should do?
I think using your brain in the sense that I'm going to talk about is the best way of dealing with it. So not necessarily checking in 15 minutes before and getting yourself mentally prepared, because you can use your warm-up for that. Most warm-ups are 10 to 15 minutes. Just get yourself attuned to what's going on. Work out how stressed you are and then try and set a limit. Like, so I know I've got to go mad on this session, but that's probably just going to feel mad rather than be what it used to be.
So just what you're going to do is like pick one piece of tech. Just pick one, and maybe your power or your heart rate, and use your watch. Don't buy 5 gadgets. Use the ones that you've got properly. You don't need to buy loads.
No, and in terms of like tracking improvement, it's things like, well, have you got a bit faster over a mile, or have you, over the course of a week, has your average power gone up rather than in the course of a session? That's sort of what we're looking at to follow that. And for some, some bits of sustainability, but it's not really sustainability to service your bike and keep it running nice, and especially when it gets
oil
to
it up and clean it.
and keep your chain clean. That's going to give you a lot of free watts when you're out and cycling in a race.
So add structured training around your life. So for example, 10 focused hours a week beats 15 half-arsed efforts. So and that's what our athletes do. They work full time, but they train smart. They use one power file, and you finish your race smiling, because you're not like thinking, I haven't pressed my watch. I mean, at the triathlon that we organised this last weekend, people saying, I can't press my watch, I've got to press my watch. I said, don't worry about it. You've got a chip on, don't matter.
That's timing you,
Yeah. Oh, well, if I don't press my watch, I won't be on Strava.
Yeah. I mean, this is tech and trends have got to work, are fine, but they've got to work for you, and you've not got to get stressed by if they don't work for you, because they won't always, like Jackie says, pressing the button for your race or when I go swimming or do anything now, I press my button to start, press my button to finish, don't even look at the watch. It records it, sends it to Training Peaks. Robbie can have a look at it if he wants. It just means that I get a green box on Training Peaks. But this week it's been on charge and I've completely forgotten about it. Have I still done my training? Yeah.
Yes.
Just because I have a screen in front of me that tells me how long I've been going and I know when I need to stop.
Yeah. So what about pitfalls and what to avoid?
Well, traps that we often see are things like the magpie effect.
Yes, we have this a
And
lot.
we all are guilty of this, all of us. Something new and shiny comes along and you're like, ooh, what's
Shall
that?
I give it a go? I mean, we used to be guilty of this, Oliver.
We did, yeah. But we were first people to get power pedals and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but we've learned a lesson.
Yes, but all you're doing in going to the grass and in the different field is discovering that grass is still grass. You've got to stick with your plan long enough. Pick and stick.
That's what we say to all our athletes. It's like with swimming. Pick and stick. Unless, if you don't, you're going to end up looking like a sausage machine.
Or you come out of a sausage machine.
Yeah.
So you choose your method, you commit to it, and you see it through. Because that level of consistency is going to be one message that you'd send in all of the limbs and all your brain, and that's going to be so much easier.
So, not another one. Not too much data. Just use your common sense. This is what we're saying. Just pick one thing, use it, get it to upload to Training Peaks or whatever thing automatically. So I never even think about it. Me just does it, and I just think, oh, it's gone. I don't even look at it.
No.
Like we said, it's not.
I look at it on my athletes to see mainly to see if I can sense if they're tired or we need to adjust the training or not.
Yeah.
But not particularly. I never look at it myself. I don't even bother with Strava. Not since they went to being a paid option.
No,
What point in that? Having a map that
Yeah.
shows you where you've been. I've been in my garage, chief. Like,
Yeah, and also
I've not been
like
anywhere
where
else.
people can come and rob your bike
Yeah. Well, you can change your watch to have a delayed start, but then
or whatever.
yeah. As always, the best metric is how you feel when you get up in the morning.
So, and don't forget social media pressure. It's in all walks of life, in everything that you do. Do not look at other people. They are, a lot of times it's just put on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, just for effect, just to make them look good. But we all know it's not working.
Yeah,
don't believe it.
Don't compare yourself to other people. Like, I know this is a big thing in cycling, even with younger cyclists, because in the podcast that I listen to, it talks about it, how younger cyclists on pro teams have been told to stop uploading the data to Strava or get off Strava because they're obsessing about what the older pros or what Pogacar's doing and comparing themselves to them, even though they're neo pros and they're just starting.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Everybody's different, and all you can do is compare yourself to you and be the best version of yourself every day. And as long as you've had fun doing your training and you've enjoyed it, that's all that's ever going to matter.
Yeah, because what we should always remember, you started this for fun. You're not a pro, you're doing it for fun. To get that, release some of that mental pressure that you've got, and to be fit and to give an example to your kids and to everybody around you. Not to be like Biggie big time, bully big time and what have you. No, keep it simple.
So in the trends, that's this year, and no, doubtless they'll be the same next year. You'll even see AI coaches, but whatever they can tell you, you can't really assess
No,
it.
they're not going to be able to tell you that you're you don't feel very well that day.
No.
Or you've...
It's a human thing.
Yeah.
Humans need humans. We'll always need that. But the key is always on keeping it simple and focusing on what makes you better, not what social media and everybody else is saying hot. Stick in your pen, stick to what you know, and you'll be fine.
Pick and stick.
So let's just round. So that's really what we're going to talk about on the podcast this week.
Yeah.
But let's have a chat about what we've done this weekend, because we said in the last episode we were about to start doing our triathlon, the second one of the year. So that went largely really well.
Yeah, I mean, we had Storm, what were it called? Storm Amy, which for us setting up on Friday and Saturday was a freaking nightmare.
It made it wild.
Yeah, because we were really wet through and...
Checked your pictures on Instagram of me looking like a drowned rat, having just put stuff out. And even putting barriers out, moving around to get another one and then having it blow over in the wind. At times it was really frustrating, but...
We had record numbers, Oliver.
Record numbers, 120 plus entries, which was marvellous. And if you we're there. Send us a picture, but we haven't. There was a problem with the timing system, so we weren't able quite to get everybody the trophy. So we're going to do that on Sunday, aren't we?
At the Triathlonology.
But most importantly, and I am touching wood as I do this again, it was sunny and dry.
Yeah.
Sun always shines on the righteous.
I've taught you that from being little.
Yep. Bible school.
Yeah.
But it was a sunny day, even if it was a bit blowy.
Yeah, it were blowy.
The remarks and the comments that I've had from people in emails afterwards have all been so supportive and that they've really enjoyed it. People are already booked on for next year.
Yeah.
And it's just been absolutely terrific.
Yeah, and the race referee gave us an absolutely glowing report. If you'd have been like at school and you got that when your mum and dad turned up, you'd have been like very, very happy.
So very shortly we'll be asking people to vote for us in the Triathlon Awards when they get nominated, because we would like to win the small event of the year again. England or nationally, we're not bothered which, we just want to win.
Yeah,
because we do put on a really good event.
And it takes an awful lot of our time. People don't, until you've actually organised a triathlon, you have absolutely no idea what goes on behind the scenes. It is hard work, but so enjoyable when people cross the finishing line and get their medals. They are absolutely made up.
And over the next few days, I'm going to put together a video that I shot while we were going over like behind the scenes of the triathlon from when we started on Friday evening, right the way through to basically it all kicking off on Sunday morning and the athletes going, because that's the thing that people don't actually see, do they? So we're going to give you an insight into what it's like in setting up an event, and if you are interested in entering it, well, you can look on the website now. There is one open for May and one open for September. I think it's the 10th of May, the first one.
Yeah, and the 6th of September, I think it is.
So you can enter in advance and be part of a really, really good event, and with lots of supportive people, both marshalling and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, so we're just going to round up by saying, so we also have our coaching offer on, that's still available, where we're taking applications in for people who want to be coached for less than our ordinary price up for a few months up until Christmas. Get in touch if you would like some proper coaching for not very much money initially anyway. And then we are looking forward to going to Portugal in April next year.
So if you're interested in coming to Portugal with us, there'll be a link in the show notes. It's for bed and breakfast, 6 nights, and including coaching, £923, and it's a top class hotel. Yeah,
really nice, and that's based on 2 people sharing. It's a really nice place, and as we say, the holidays that we put on are genuine holidays, but you get a lot out of them. So, thank you very much for listening and watching on YouTube.
What do you think is going to win Kona? It's Kona weekend. I think giving Lucy Charles Barkley a run for her money will be Julie Derren.
Dark horse. I'm going to say Julie gets on the podium.
She's definitely getting on podium.
But I don't know who's going to win, but I'm going to say Julie Derren gets on the podium.
Because it is quite close now with the ladies. There's a lot of good ladies. So, watch it. We've got to support Lucy because she's British, not she's English, and our favourite Julie Derren.
So we will be back next week where we will all know the results of Kona by that point, although I don't think I'm going to stop up.
No, I'm not stopping up.
And watch it. I might wake up in the morning and see what's going on. It's not the same when there's split world championships and there's not men and women doing it. And I know why they've done, but they are going back to
it's going back next year.
Dual world championships at the same time in Kona next year. So thank you very much for listening again, and for viewing on our YouTube channel and on social media if you've seen the clips. I've been Coach Oliver.
I've been Coach Jackie.
And until next time, we'll civvy.
Thank you for joining us today.
See you next time.
See you then. Or as we say in Yorkshire, civvy.